Doubles and coffee. Well, I'm so proud of President 𝐓𝐴𝐻. As a Trinbagonian, a little embarrassed, I must say, because in Trinidad and Tobago, and for all my life, we've been the number one, the leader, the one who protects and guides the Caribbean, and major international leaders come to us first, visit us, come off at Piarco Airport, discuss with us, sign MOUs, but not again, not under the PNM, not under the PNM's foreign policy that puts Maduro, Delcy, and a narco-trafficking regime before democracy, before the USA, before Europe, before our partners and our friends. Marco Rubio visited Guyana. He visited with President 𝐓𝐴𝐻, and they signed an MOU. They signed a document. They signed a partnership. They signed an agreement to improve security of Guyana, the nation of Guyana, against any and all enemies. When asked directly, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said, if Venezuela, if that narco-trafficking regime was to put God out of their thoughts to do anything untoward to Guyana, the USA will be there. Their naval assets will be there. He basically said, Maduro, Delcy, Wilmer Rupert, and any of your friends, if you touch Guyana, you touch USA. He stood there at a podium speaking with President 𝐓𝐴𝐻. They've signed an MOU to help and assist with transnational gangs against the narco-trafficking regimes, gangs, narco-traffickers, human traffickers, to work to make that area safer, to protect the assets, to develop, to bring foreign direct investment. They signed an MOU to improve the health care of the Guyanese people with the USA. President 𝐓𝐴𝐻, when asked the question, said, listen, the USA has said and undertaken to be my friend, to be our friend, to protect us, to be there to back us, and therefore the USA will get preferential treatment over and above anywhere else. 𝐓𝐴𝐻, the president of Guyana, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State of the United States of America, after a detailed meeting, held a joint press conference and signed an MOU, a piece of paper, a meaningful document for a meaningful relationship. What did our Prime Minister selected by Keith Rowley bring for us? Just his words, his comments, his lies, talking about, trying to imply that dragon gas is not dead and the USA will not do anything to harm Trinidad and Tobago. Our Prime Minister had to fly all the way to Jamaica to go and sit down and listen to Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State of the USA, who had already made it pellucid that the USA will deal with anyone who tries to enrich, enhance, or partner with the illegitimate regime of Maduro, who stole elections, who continues to allow people to flee the country, as well as provide such a terrible state of affairs in Venezuela that people, over 8 million people, have fled. They describe, Marco Rubio described Maduro's regime as illegitimate, narco-traffickers, money launderers, drug traffickers. That's why we got no MOU. Marco Rubio didn't set foot on our beloved soil. Marco Rubio didn't stand up at a podium with our selected Prime Minister after signing an MOU, because the PNM is part of the problem that the USA is fighting, because of the dragon gas deal, because our Prime Minister has been over to Venezuela 13 times in the last 14 months, spending 1.2 million, because our taxpayers' dollars, 1 million US that we know of, and other countless amounts of foreign exchange have been paid to Maduro regime, because our government and our foreign policy has not been one to condemn the stealing of the election by Nicolas Maduro, claiming victory and swearing himself in without one statement of poll. The United States of America is about democracy. Kamala Persad-Bissessar believes in democracy. The PNM is not about democracy. The PNM stole their own leader, stole the leadership and gave it to his friend, to his puppet, to his mini-me. So how the PNM, Rowley treats the PNM, he treats the country and he treats the USA, he treats Venezuela, and that formulates his foreign policy. He does not care about democracy. He does not care about the voice of the people, because in the PNM, the people weren't allowed to vote. The General Council wasn't allowed to vote. Those parliamentarians were bullied from 9/11 to 20-0. The country is now faced with a bully selected by the PNM without a voice, without a vote, with an undemocratic, dictatorial, oppressive methodology. That is the same thing that was done with Maduro. So the USA sees Trinidad and Tobago as akin to Maduro's regime, to the undemocratic processes, to the malign influence. So there's no MOU with us. There's no MOU with Trinidad and Tobago. There's no MOU with our beloved country. And some of you will stand there and go, so what? We are suffering and who cares? Yeah, who cares? We need jobs. We need investment. We need protection. We need the USA resources to stop transnational drug trafficking and gun running coming into our country. We need foreign direct investment. We love to go to the USA. Our children love to go there and get education, scholarships, competition, great coaching. We love to go there to Miami Carnival, to Lime, to eat, to drink, to watch F1 car race, to see basketball, NBA. We go to the USA to go to Disney World and relax. We have a great relationship with the USA. All our food comes from the USA. All our drinks come from the USA. Over 78% of what we consume come from the USA. So those who say we don't care, all our who watching Netflix as USA, all our entertainment, our music, you watch the Super Bowl, you like Lamar, and that is USA. We have always been close to the USA. Now, because of Rowley and Stuart Richard Young and their greed and their love for deals and secret deals without public servants, Dragon is dead because Maduro is illegitimate. There will be no Dragon. Stuart Richard Young comes here to pretend that there is some glimmer of hope. The mere fact that Marco Rubio did not land in Trinidad and Tobago, did not sign and negotiate any terms and deepen any partnership with the government of Trinidad and Tobago, but he skipped past us, went to Guyana, sat and met and had a document ready to be signed between himself, the USA, and Guyana for security, for health, for protection. That is well done, Guyana. But as a Trinbagonian, a shame. And you, the people, must be shamed. And we must remove the people who making we shame. Let the PNM have the PNM. Let them love the PNM. Let them stop damaging our country. Reject the PNM. Reject Stuart Richard Young. Take a look and listen.
Thank you, Marcia. Your Excellency, Mr. President, members of Cabinet, ladies and gentlemen, today, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Hugh Hilton Todd, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio are signing a memorandum of understanding between our two countries to deepen security cooperation and address regional challenges, including countering narcotics trafficking and transnational organized crime. Under this mechanism, Guyana and the United States will strengthen information sharing, synthetic drug detection, transnational organized crime investigations and prosecutions, and military-to-military cooperation.
Rubio has been and continues to be a strong advocate for Guyana's development, democracy, and peace. He has consistently demonstrated his personal commitment to the international rule of law, democracy, and security. Guyana and the United States share a long bond of friendship and partnership. Indeed, the best of partnership are those built on shared values, mutual trust, and a commitment to the rule of law and international order. This is what underpins our bilateral relationship and friendship. The United States is our trusted partner as we continue to build a stable, secure, and democratic society here. This visit has allowed us to consolidate our bilateral agenda, defining policies and outlining clear intentions in areas of security, trade, energy, investments, infrastructure, democracy, regional peace and stability, human capital deployment and development. I am very pleased at the reassurance of the U.S. in ensuring the safeguard of our territorial integrity and sovereignty. Our partnership and joint commitment to the safeguard of this region from every disruptive force is key to the maintenance of democracy and adherence to the rule of law. The threats from Venezuela were specifically discussed. Their blatant violation of the ICJ order and Argyle Declaration were noted. Our joint commitment in enhanced partnership in combating transnational crime, inclusive of narco-trafficking, human trafficking, money laundering, and all forms of smuggling, is reflected in the enhanced MOU signed today.
The other are regional threats. The regional threats based on illegitimate territorial claims by a narco-trafficking regime. And I want to be frank, and I've said this during my time as a senator, and I have full confidence in saying it now as the Secretary of State. There will be consequences for adventurism. There will be consequences for aggressive actions. And that's why our partnership in that regard will be important. That is not what we want to be a feature of our relationship. But it is a necessity of our relationship because you have a very difficult challenge on your hands with a dictator that's making illegitimate territorial claims. And so you have our full commitment and support. Today we're demonstrating it both in tangible ways, and we're going to look for ways to make it long-term and sustainable ways, to make abundantly clear that we are invested, both as a nation and from our people, in being your partner in transformation and in prosperity. And we will not allow illegitimate territorial claims to be an impediment to your dreams and to your right to develop this country into a symbol that I hope will inspire others to follow the example you set, Mr. President. So thank you. Thank you for the chance to be with you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Marcel Thomas from the Starbuck News. You just spoke of consequences for aggressive actions and that the U.S. is Guyana's partner. Given Venezuela's unprovoked aggression towards Guyana, I want to know if your country would stand by Guyana militarily if Venezuela were to attack this country, and what would be the U.S.'s response should Venezuela attack U.S. oil major ExxonMobil, which is operating in Guyana's waters?
It would be a very bad day for the Venezuelan regime if they were to attack Guyana or attack ExxonMobil or anything like it. It would be a very bad day, a very bad week for them, and it would not end well for them. I'm not going to get into details of what we'll do. We're not big on those kinds of threats. I think everybody understands, and I want it to be clear. We've made this clear repeatedly. I think the U.S. Navy today is making it clear and demonstrating our ability to. We have a big Navy, and it can get almost anywhere. It can get anywhere in the world. We have commitments that exist today with Guyana. We want to build on those, expand on those, and we'll leave it for the appropriate time. But suffice it to say that if that regime were to do something such as that, it would be a very bad move. It would be a big mistake for them.